All right, guys, how are we all? Hopefully, just going to get a bit of a chat with another exam coach who I thought I was the only one in the globe, but there's now two of us.
Least of us.
So, been a bit of a great journey in terms of how we've came across each other, Yvonne, and we're going to have a chat here and get all the people who are going to watch this, hopefully as many as possible, and give some really, really useful information, both from our experiences and in terms of what we see with our clients on a daily basis, and see any obstacles or challenges, and give some practical and useful information to everyone out there. So first of all, it's absolutely brilliant to have you. And we're going to have a really good chat. I'm really looking forward to this. One thing, Yvonne, is that I've been thinking about, and what I want to ask you is, what do you think the three biggest stumbling blocks are for accounting students now?
It's a super good question. In my experience, is number one is mindset. You know, students come in with a certain mindset, and it's not going to help them for their studies. Two is you know, their legacy study habits, the study habits that they learned at schools in earlier levels, are not actually appropriate for what they're going to study, and no one tells them this, and no one tells them what they should do instead. And the third one is, especially for accounting students, specifically for accounting students, is that by nature of who they are and what they want to study, they value technical skills over problem-solving skills, and technical skills over application, communication, discussion, and emotional intelligence. You know, so they kind of, in a completely over-summarized oversimplification, they prefer or they value IQ over EQ.
Without a doubt. But in terms of, Yvonne, the mindset element, is there any particular facet of mindset you see as the biggest issue?
I think that there's the classic accounting, and I'm going to stereotype and generalize, because it's something that I've come across in probably 80-90% of students that I deal with. Mm-hmm. So I'll apologize in advance if people feel that I'm over stereotyping. Almost everything that they come into their studies with is a perfect storm that's going to create disaster at higher levels of their studies. So their personality traits, valuing numbers and formulae and format-driven thinking over problem-solving, communication, etc., is a challenge. Being perfectionists are seen, you know, being a perfectionist is seen as a strength in school and lower studies, when in reality it's actually a weakness, and it causes more drama than it helps. A-type personalities, you know, very specific, very detailed, specific, hold on to things, very serious. Your classic A-type personality doesn't help with your studies later on. And then having a fixed mindset where, you know, you have to be perfectionist. It's about the outcome, not the journey. It's about the product, not the process. It's about getting the right answer first time. It's about being ready to do something before you actually do it. You know, having a fixed versus a growth mindset is, you know, it doesn't help either. So all these types of things, I think, are make up the mental space that the student is in, and makes up their mindset. And all of that, without going, like, you know, too far into detail about that, your internal messaging, your sense of having, you know, have to get something right, don't want to do something if I'm likely to fail, I must get it right first time I do it, all of that stuff, it impacts the way that you study. You know, it impacts everything you do on a daily basis. It impacts what you choose to study today. It impacts what you avoid. And that stuff is more likely to make you fail along the line than the fact that you can't remember how to do a deferred tax calculation.
And the perfectionist bit, I think that leads massively into self-doubt, especially if you can't understand straight away. You know, and I've had a number of clients that are absolutely wrecked with self-doubt, and they come and they use the language of I can't pass exams, or I fail. I'm going, hold on a minute, is there any concrete evidence to say that you've passed exams before? And they go, oh yeah, of course.
Exactly.
That's the rubbish that your mind is portraying, because the caveman syndrome kicks in, the defense mechanism kicks in, and goes, hey, I don't want you to do this exam. I'm going to tell you all the rubbish of the day. So the self-doubt kicks in, and that is right back from being a perfectionist, because you want to get everything 120% right.
Absolutely.
Which is not going to happen. And the reason I know that is because it used to happen to me all the time. The classic perfection.
I keep on saying to students as well, like I'm still stupid. I still don't know what I'm doing. I passed, I'm qualified. And nowadays I'm quite happy to admit that I don't know what I'm doing because, you realize that's life. And if you do know what you're doing, it's because you've been doing the same thing for so long that you haven't learned anything new.
Yeah.
Because the moment you learn something new, you're going to start off being stupid. It's a journey. Learning is about starting off being stupid and then picking up and learning as you go along. And then you go back to learning something new and being stupid again and moving on. That's how life goes. It's learning.
The good old saying, win or learn.